Okay, we can go ahead and get started. I'm going to shake the agenda up just slightly. Tonight, I'm going to move our council business until after some of our presentations so that our guests can leave relatively early tonight so that they don't have to stay for the entire presentation or for all the presentations and for our council business. So I'm going to just shake the agenda up slightly, but we'll get to everything. I expect tonight to be a somewhat short meeting. Largely council business tonight. Many of our regular presenters are out of town, or there's another meeting happening tonight that's created a conflict for some of them. So first up to present, we have Salt Lake City Parks and Public Lands, and Paula is here representing them.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for giving me some time to talk to you today. I work with the volunteer team at Public Lands, and I wanted to let you know about a few events that are happening for Earth Day. So we have a few events listed. If you go to our website at slc.gov/stewardship, they are listed, and there's a little sign-up sheet. We're going to have a bike ride that's in Glendale that might be of interest to some folks. And we also are going to have a tree planting activity. So if someone's maybe not as inclined to do the bike ride, feel free to do the tree planting as well. And there's also going to be a canoe float at Jordan River with the Jordan River Commission, and a Fair Park debris removal. So the bike ride is going to be on Saturday, April 20th, which is Earth Day, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be just a pretty simple bike and cleanup of a 5-mile stretch of the Jordan River Trail. From Jordan Park to the Aviary River Center and 3300 South. If you don't have a bike but still want to be able to do that, we are going to have a walking parallel activity running from that as well. And then we're going to have an Earth Day celebration from 1 to 2:30 p.m. with some food we're going to provide and a prize giveaway. And again, that's going to be on Earth Day, Saturday, April 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The tree planting that's going to be happening on Monday, it's going to be on Monday, April the 22nd from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And there's another section from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., which is going to be with Salt Lake City Urban Forestry and Tree Utah. There will be a planting of 280 trees at the Regional Athletic Center in Rose Park. I know that some folks usually work during those times, but if you happen to know of someone that needs some volunteer work hours or has a group that wants to give back in some way, this is a great opportunity. We also do have that Jordan River canoe float and cleanup. That one is going to be from Tuesday, April 23rd from 2 to 6 p.m. A lot of times people really want to get on in the water and do the actual cleanups. And this is one of the few times of the year we actually do it. It is going to be a pretty dirty event. So just be aware if you do sign up for that activity or tell someone about it, that it's going to be pretty hands-on. It's going to be, you're going to be in the river in a canoe cleaning up trash. So it's going to be a very involved activity. And then the fourth event that we're going to be doing that week was going to be also on Earth Day from 9 a.m. from 1 p.m. We'll be working with our volunteer partners, my hometown, to remove plant and tree debris along the Jordan River on the west side by the Fair Park. And that is being organized by the mayor's office. So if you want to contact them, they have a sign up as well. And again, all of this information is listed on our website at slcgov.gov/stewardship. Thank you. And thank you again for always helping.
Thanks, Paula. Next, we'll move on to Alicia in the mayor's office. Alicia, I accidentally muted you. I meant to click ask to unmute, but you unmuted too quick.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Did you get my PowerPoint presentation by any chance?
I did. And do you want me to present it or would you prefer to? If we make you a co-host, you can.
Can you just feature it, please? Or
Yep, I'll do
was it
that.
too much trouble?
Yep. Give me just 1 second to pull it up.
Thank you.
My PowerPoint's being slow. Right. Okay, is that showing on your screen?
Yes, it is. Okay, wonderful. Well, good evening, everyone. It's good to see you online. I'm forgetting when our next in-person meeting will be. Would that be in summer?
It will be May.
May. Okay, good to know. Alrighty, so for the next slide, I'm featuring the website for community to provide feedback on any community projects happening in the area. There's also a list of reports that of recently closed surveys that you can check out. I recently got a note from Public Lands that they are planning on launching the next engagement for the Peace Labyrinth. So that's coming soon. The other thing that happened recently with Public Lands, the next slide, please, is that the Emerald Ribbon Action Plan team hosted 2 open houses at Mestizo Coffee House to gather community input on the 3 concepts for the future of the Jordan River corridor. All of the feedback gathered will be used to create their final vision of the Emerald Ribbon. And if you did not attend the open houses, please visit their website. It's listed on the presentation there. There's a 7-minute introductory video, and you can also access the survey online. So the survey is open until March 31st. You can see they have 3 designs. What is it? Meandering moments, dynamic districts, and river ribbons. So please take a look at that. Next slide is our housing stability update. The city's committed to the overall well-being and housing stability for everyone. So the government has launched the new consumer protection complaint portal to empower you to protect yourselves and fellow Salt Lakers from predatory practices and scams. You can voice your concerns, you can report scams, you can seek assistance for consumer issues. Because of the ongoing threat of displacement faced by many, they're giving special attention to housing-related complaints. You can contact Eric Fraunberg from the Housing and Consumer Protection Division. He's an analyst, and his email is listed there. There's also the website that you can go check out all of the requirements when submitting a report or voicing your concerns. The next slide is about Love Your Block. It's an initiative at the mayor's office. It provides neighborhood improvement funds to implement projects that target deteriorating spaces, addresses community concerns, and enhances neighborhood pride. There's a mini grant that provides up to $2,000 to support large-scale initiatives. There have been projects such as tool sheds, public art, vacant lot activation, playground repairs, and I believe the deadline is what? The 31st for you to submit your applications. And then there's a community action fund, which starts in the next month up until September, I believe. And I think it's available now. It is open now until September, and it allocates funds to shovel-ready projects. So it's emphasizing neighborhood cleanups, alleyway projects, and exterior home repairs. Please contact Love Your Block program or Katie Reiser for further information. You have her phone number on there. The next thing I want to share is that the Salt Lake City is hosting a hygiene resource drive in partnership with the city's homeless resource center communities from March 18th through the 29th. And there are 2 locations you can drop off donations, which items that are needed are toothbrush, toothpaste, wipes, deodorants, everything that's listed on there. The community is encouraged to donate as much as you are able to, including non-perishable food items. Now, the Sorensen Center is hosting a kit assembly party, which is April 2nd. I'm not sure about the timing. I just got that information today, but I'm sure we'll be hearing more about it later on. Next is about funding from the legislative session, which, you know, they provided about 64.5 million in funding and 15 million in private match donations. The funding is meant to support current shelter services in Salt Lake City and in Utah. The resource fair, there's one coming up April 12th, 9:30 to 12:30 at Pioneer Park. And the Office of Homeless, State of Office of Homeless Services is receiving funding for a new low barrier shelter. They're seeking land. And the current micro shelter in downtown ends in May. And the state is preparing for plans for the next phase, which begins in March, April, May, June. There you go. Next slide. So at the airport is going into its the third construction phase. It's underway and it's scheduled to open in the fall of 2024. Phase 3 includes the central tunnel connecting A and B concourses and the unique art installation called the River Tunnel by the artist Gordon Huther. The entrance to Concourse B is a mini plaza that will feature the world map reinstalled from its previous home in the former airport. I put the link there if you're interested in looking at the synopsis of phase 3. And then moving on to the next slide, Mayor Mendenhall announced her 2024 goals and priorities for her second term to support affordability, sustainability, and the quality of life for all communities in Salt Lake City. The administration's goals focus on livability, capital projects, resiliency, and organizational efficiency and well-being. Please visit slcmayorplan.com if you'd like to review the goals on your own time. And then the last 2 slides talk about my community office hours for March. I will be located at Heartland, actually for April, not March. That's a typo. Currently, I'm doing canvassing around the community to advertise for my community office hours. So I'll be out in Glendale next Tuesday handing out flyers. So people can visit me at the Heartland Partnership Center April 10th from 4 to 6 p.m. And then the last slide is just my contact information. If you'd like to text me, email me, call me for any concerns, questions, suggestions, recommendations that you'd like to offer to the city or to the mayor. And that is all for tonight. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? Do I owe you any updates on any projects that you were interested in from the last time we met?
Just curious if you know where we're at on phase 1 of Glendale Regional Park.
I'm not current on that.
I didn't think about it until Paula had already jumped off, but that's okay. We'll have Parks and Public Lands come in April and talk about it.
I'll read up on it.
All right. We'll move on to community organization updates. Is NeighborWorks, Neighborhood House, Sorensen Community Campus, or our transportation committee here? I believe our transportation committee is out of town. Don't see anyone. Anyone from Oh, I see Detective Oliver. Do you want to go next, Detective?
Sure. First, any questions from the community? Concerns, complaints, kudos? All right. Okay. So for the month of February, we have our stats, and I'm pulling these stats off of our open data sheet that has been opened. I think it's new. I don't know if I've announced that here yet or not, but if you go to slcpd.com open data, you can see the new crime statistics webpage, and you can actually break it down by community councils now. So all the numbers will be specific to the Glendale Community Council tonight. We had a total of 6 violent offenses in the month of February in the Glendale Community Council. Both of those were aggravated assault. 3 were domestic and 3 were non-domestic assaults. That is up just barely from what our 3-year average is. We've been averaging in the month of February 5.7, so we're just barely up in that. We had a total of 64 property offenses reported in Glendale. Majority of those were, looks like, the theft mainly out of, convenience stores and things like that. So that is all down. We are a 3-year average of 87.7. We're at 64 this year. So grand total of 70 crimes that were reported in February, down from 93 over a 3-year average. So year to date, we have 16 violent offenses. We've had 122 property offenses for a grand total of 128 crimes that have been reported year to date, and we are down 12.1% over a 5-year average. So the numbers are continuing to stay what they were last year. So that's a plus. Are there any questions on that? If not, we just graduated 17 officers from the academy. They're going to be about 18 weeks in the field training program, and then they will be out on the street as our newest officers. We have 2 more classes that are still in session, and I believe they're going to be starting a new one here in the near future. So that's a plus. We average about, I'd say 15 to 17 officers every 26 weeks. So that's where we're looking at with the numbers for a patrol.
Thank you.
And I'll just stay on. If there's any questions, just yell at me.
Thank you. Any questions for Detective Oliver? Okay. Councilmember Pui.
Hello. Just I'll have a ton of updates from the briefings. We are catching up still with some of the legislative bills that have been passed. Governor is signing them as fast as he can. So learning about the impacts for our city. Certainly, there are some bills that impact our part of town greatly. There is some very positive things and some things that are still up in the air to find out how they affect us. I'm working very hard on that and trying to get the priorities right for the West Side, the budget season for the city starting. And we need to figure that piece out, make sure that we, with the administration, are collaborating to make sure that we fund for my, all of the council members have their own district to look after, but hopefully we keep seeing the amount of funding that we have seen in the past for coming to the West Side. So excited for that and looking forward to learning more from the community of what we want to see happen. So that's where we are right now, discussing some federal grants, the money that we need to pass through to organizations right now. That's where we are in our meetings. Yesterday, the meeting was long, but it was related to learning about Japantown and how we can make sure that we are on the same page about these investments while major league sports come to our part of town and to downtown. So that's where I am right now. I wonder if there's any questions, if there's time for that.
Yes. Any questions?
I don't have questions, but I want to encourage, our council, Alejandro. Thank you, brother. The way you just mentioned to funding, we really need like more funding west side of Salt Lake City. As you said, because we're getting more people, on West Side, especially refugees and immigrants. So always they really need more help, like for example, the rent is killing them right now. They need like more rent assistance, brother, on West Side of Salt Lake. They make money, but the money they're making, it's not gonna cover everything. But so they really need like more help, Even the gas is too expensive for the low incomes. They cannot able to drive, the way they want it. So it's kind of like so many challenges, If you don't mind, just please work very hard and get more funding on West Side.
Yeah, and thank you for that. And that's really all that I really try to do. But let me say, rental assistance has been a program that Salt Lake City, distributed money from the federal government. Most of that money was COVID related. So it wasn't, Salt Lake City doesn't necessarily have funding for rental assistance. I believe we distributed all the money we had on that issue. But right now we are releasing, we're picking the projects with $18 million of RDA funding related to housing. So $18 million is a significant amount of money to create lots of housing opportunities. Some of those projects are in our district, some of them are downtown, some are in Sugar House, and it is a big deal for our city. So yes, I thank you for that, and we always in touch about this issue. So thank you for your voice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Can I add something, brother, if you don't
Sure.
mind? As you know that, nowadays, it's especially right now, I've been doing like food bank, and then the food bank, it's kind of like low, it's very low, and then we're getting like more people coming from Magna, West Jordan, South Jordan, West Valley, and then the food we're getting is not enough. It's kind of like the food is kind of like very low, so the people need more food than nowadays. I don't know if there's a way we can get like more food,
Let me ask. That's a different hat I wear, right? I'm on the food bank board, and let's coordinate on that and see if there is something I could assist from that side.
Okay.
Different hat, but I would love to help with that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you.
Abdirazak, I will share your email, Abdirazak, with Councilmember Puis so he can reach out.
Yes, thank you. If I have it, that will help me a lot. Yes.
Yep, I'll message it to you now. With that, let's move on to community updates. Are there any community organizations that would like to provide an update before we move on to council business? All right. It's going to be a short meeting. Give me 1 second. I got to switch screens real quick. Okay, so we have a little bit of business to do tonight. We've got a couple of members that are interested in joining the board. As you might remember at our January meeting, we had several board positions that were left unfilled. One being our webmaster position, one being, and then we had 3 at-large board positions that were left unfilled, and then our secretary position. So our board has been working hard to try to fill those positions. And tonight we're going to fill a couple of those positions. So we have had a person named Chris Villalobos reach out about being our webmaster. So Chris is a graphic designer and a front-end web developer at Golden Communications. He has over 9 years of experience doing this type of work. Unfortunately, he's traveling for work tonight, so he couldn't be here to represent himself. So I offered to represent him. He will be at our April meeting and able to introduce himself. He was able to attend our board meeting last week and expressed interest in the webmaster position. And him and Jenny, our previous webmaster, have been coordinating on that transition. So as I mentioned, he's got 9 years of experience. This is the position that sends out our newsletter, handles our social media posting, and updates our website. So it's a really essential part of our team. And we're very anxious to fill this position, even though he couldn't be here tonight. At last month's meeting in February, we filled one of the at-large positions with Abdirazak. He filled one of those positions. And then we have two other folks that are interested in serving in at-large positions. And I believe that they are here tonight. Is Yaya, are you on the call? Abdirazak, is Yaya with you?
Yes, brother. Sorry, yeah, I was busy with helping some client. Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, can you? What you said? The question was.
Is Yaya with you?
Oh no, no, yeah, it's not with me. I call him, so he's not answering the phone. So maybe people fasting right now, so I can maybe tired. I don't know. I called them, but nobody was answering the phone. Even Omari.
Okay.
Yeah, I called them. Nobody's answering the phone.
Okay, since
Yeah.
Omari and Yaya are not here tonight, we'll move forward with their nomination on another night when they're able to.
Sure.
But what I'd like to do tonight is move forward with nominating our new webmaster, Chris Villalobos. So to do this, we're filling a vacancy. So since we didn't elect the webmaster at our January meeting, we've now gone 2 months without a webmaster. Chris, if he's elected tonight, if the community agrees, will start that position immediately and fill the remainder of that term, which will be about 22 months. So it's a 2-year position, and he's agreed to take it. As I mentioned, he's traveling for work tonight. But Chris brings a lot of experience, and it will be great to have that position filled in. And I just want to say thank you to Jenny, who's also on the call tonight. Jenny's been filling in as webmaster, despite not being the webmaster anymore for the last couple of months as we've been trying to fill this position. So with that, I'm going to make a motion that we elect Chris Villalobos to the board as in the position of webmaster. I'm wondering if Jenny or Paulo would be willing to second that.
I second that.
All right. So all in favor, if you'd either just raise your hand or you can unmute and just say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? All right, well, I'll go ahead and say that that motion passed. So we'll invite Chris to join our board. And like I said, he's traveling for work tonight, but he did express interest in coming to next month's meeting. So he'll be here and can introduce himself. But we're very excited to get him going and get that transition handled. Paulo, before you joined, we did updates from different committees. I don't know if the Transportation Committee had an update that you wanted to give.
Yeah, I guess short update is we're still internally reviewing the active transportation plan, which hopefully should go out to the city for internal review by next month's meeting. So that's what we're aiming for, kind of cleaning that up in the next few weeks.
Great. And if you're looking for information on that plan, you can go to glendaleslc.org and it's under updates. So you scroll down and you'll see the active transportation plan. We'd love your feedback on it. And we're basically sending it through a formal adoption process with the city, which means that the projects that we've identified would be giving funding priority as funding's made available to the city. So that's something that we're excited about. Any other, before we adjourn tonight, I am at the end of my agenda. Any other updates? I don't know if Connor or eBay, I don't know if the Arts Committee has updates. I know Sarah was feeling under the weather and couldn't join tonight. It's okay if not.
I don't think we have any updates right now. We're still working on putting together some of the events that we're planning for this year.
Great. We can talk about that next month. Well, we're at the end of our agenda. Thank you, everybody, for a very short and quick meeting. We'll be back. Oh, Brandon, sorry. Brandon, do you just want to introduce your project very quickly? We've got some time. Okay.
Okay, if I could get off the mute, that would help. Yeah, some friends and I are trying to set up a community center out that way, but the caveat is we're employed but financially destitute. And biggest issue that we're having right now is just getting a building to operate out of. We're pretty ready to roll out. Kind of have all the equipment in storage. I posted in the chat our Facebook, which has links to our current GoFundMe and stuff. Just to not take a bunch of your time, probably best to reach out through that channel, just so we can give more information there. But so at this point, it's more of a solicitation as far as that goes. I was trying to get a couple of more of the guys to join this meeting. But I'm gonna guess that they got off work and they're asleep.
Well, thanks for being here. I am looking into the church that you emailed me about. I'm trying to figure it out, but hasn't been easy to find. So, but I'll get back in touch with you and then we'll go from there. But thank you for being here.
All right, thanks.
All right, everybody. Thanks for a quick meeting. We'll see you back on Zoom in April, and then we'll be in person for our May meeting. And at that meeting, we're providing dinner. We're working on childcare, and we will have a guest speaker of some kind that we're thinking maybe the superintendent or maybe the mayor. So we'll work on one of those. May 15th at the Glendale Library. Next month, we'll be on Zoom again. Go enjoy the last little bit of light that we've got outside. Thanks, everybody.
See you.